Hi, this is Marc Morrell with ToonBarn.com, and I'm here with Andrea Romano, casting director for The Dark Knight Returns, Part 2.
Hello.
What I'd like to ask you first is the definitive voice of Batman for the past 20 years through the animated series and the Arkham games has been Kevin Conroy.
Mm-hmm.
How do you decide when it comes to The Dark Knight Returns? Do I say, oh, automatically take him, or do you decide for something different?
It's not my decision to make. The people that hire me, whether it's actually a group of people, it's DC Comics, it's Warner Home Video, it's Warner Brothers Animation, they make the determination as to whether or not it's going to be a new voice. And I always start every project by saying, may I use Kevin Conroy? May I use Mark Hamill? And sometimes they say yes, and sometimes they say no. This one they said, no, we want a different voice for this particular character. And so it's my option to say, I don't really want to do it, or yes, because I'm a freelance director, I can choose not to do it. And on this one, I was like, this is a beautiful piece, Dark Knight Returns, and yes, I will do it, and yes, I will find voices that will work for this.
Okay, did you read the graphic novel for this before you did the casting for this?
Of course. I always, as soon as I'm given a job like this, I always do read the source material. If it exists, it's crazy for me not to. It's a perfect example of what it's going to look like. I mean, we changed the style a little bit, but at least it shows me what the character design is. And in this particular piece, it's so clear because Batman is depicted as slightly shorter, fuller, older, clearly. And that helps you to find a voice actor that will be right for it, because you can look exactly at the character and go, well, you know what, whose voice would fit this? And we were lucky enough to get Peter Weller, who is just such a fine actor and did such a beautiful job, and a major comic book fan himself, so he knew the source material too. And I think that's also why he agreed to sign on, was he just went, well, it's not going to get much better than that. It's Dark Knight Returns.
So how gut-wrenching is it to have all these voices in your head as you're reading something saying, oh, he would be good for that, or he would be good for that?
Well, it's great. It's actually, I had many, we cast, there's a lot of us that come up with casting ideas, and then we put them in an order as to what order we would like to pursue these actors. And then we start going down the list, and some people want to do it, but they're not available, or some people aren't interested in because the money isn't enough, or whatever. They don't want to play Batman, whatever. And so it's a matter of going through a list of actors, making the offers, finding somebody that fits the role and wants to do it, wants to do it. I don't care whether they've had voiceover experience before. I can teach them how to do voiceover for animation, but I can't teach them acting. Right. So I need them to be a good actor, and Peter Weller certainly is a good actor. And I think he does a beautiful job in this piece. And then Michael Emerson, who I admired so much in Lost, I had met him at I think it was San Diego Comic-Con, and he was such a nice man, and Ben was such an intimidating character on Lost, and you have no idea what the actor's like, and hi, Mr. Emerson, my name is... And he was so warm and generous and kind, and I said, I direct a lot of animated projects. Would you consider ever doing a voice? And he said, oh, yes. And then the Joker came up on this project, and I thought, oh, well, he would be so wonderful. And it's not the typical voice that you would think of for this kind of character, and yet I think he pulls it off so beautifully, and he's a terrific actor. And again, having not done a lot of voiceover for animation, I had to teach him a little bit of the technique. And he was here in New York, and I was in LA, and we recorded by Skype. I mean, we recorded ISDN, but I watched him by Skype, and he watched me, because it's always better to direct an actor when you can see them. Sure. It's so much better. And so that was a very wonderful experience. I saw Michael then many months after we'd recorded, and I said, how was the experience for you? Did you enjoy it? And he said, it's the hardest work I ever have done, which astounded me. Because most people go, God, voiceover is so great, it's so easy, it's so wonderful.
I think other voice actors would agree that it's not that easy.
No, it's not. Because you don't have any of the physical... you do it a double take, you raise an eyebrow, you don't have any of that. You have to rely only on the voice. Right. And you have to make sure that whatever you're trying to portray comes through the voice. That's my job, to make sure that it does.
Well, thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you for joining us at New York Comic Con.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Thank you.